think people waste a lot of time waiting for the perfect time. And the reality is that there is no perfect time, and you are never really gonna know what the perfect time looks like. I think that people sometimes get so focused and so caught up on the, oh, but what if? And I never want to be that person that whenever I'm on my deathbed, I want to look back and be like, oh, what if I had done this when I was 25 years old? Because if we look at it now, what if I hadn't decided to compete? What if I hadn't given my all whenever I was competing? I wouldn't have had all the experiences that I've had. I think that just go for it. Life is too short for you to be thinking about all the possibilities that could go wrong. But what if it goes right? I think like the way I look at life. So done is better than perfect. That is a mentality that I have in my business. That is a mentality that I have on my personal life. Whenever, like, I moved from Brazil to the US, from the US to Ireland to be with my now husband. So I think that the universe gives us the tools that we need to be able to tackle the challenges as they come. So if you make a decision and you're not like 100% sure about something, you can always go back, you know, like you can always fall back into something. Like I'm going to use the traveling and going to places as an example, just because it is, I think, a very good example of burning the boat. Whenever I moved to Ireland, I had a lot of friends that were like, oh, why don't you put your stuff in a storage? And I'm like, no, because I'm fully committed to doing this. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'll just pack back and come back and start fresh again. And then I'll figure it out. So I think that having that mentality that it's not a life and death situation, you can always find a way. And I feel like the universe finds a way of helping you find a way.
So moral of the story.
Burn the fucking boat. Yeah, I think that too many people live life not living their full potential and not fulfilling their full potential because they are afraid of failing. But what if you fail? You get up and you start again. If you don't ask questions, the answer is always going to be no. If you don't try, the answer is always going to be that you can't do it. So what is the worst that can happen if you don't try? It's a no, but the no is already a given, even if you don't try. So that's kind of how I see life, how I look at life, and how I live my everyday life. Yeah, and I feel, again, because now I am a mom and I work a lot with moms, there is this martyr syndrome that a lot of moms have, that is like they have to give all they have to all of those around you, and that is what is praised, and then they're left with nothing of themselves for themselves. And I think that should be the opposite, because when you feel your best and you are able to give your best to those around you, and I think that if more people thought this way, that in order for them to show up being the best version of themselves, that they need to feel like they're the best version of themselves, there would be, I think, a lot of less resentment as a whole towards family, towards career, towards partners, towards husbands, wives, whatever. And you know what? I see that a lot with moms as well. The moms that don't have some kind of outlet like the gym, like a physical outlet, that a lot of times from my experience, I noticed that they have a little bit of resentment and a lot of stress towards their kids because they don't have that time to work on themselves or to take time for themselves, to do something for themselves that it doesn't revolve around the kids. And I feel, and that's one of the things after I had my kids that I always made it important and a priority to take that time for me because it made me a better mom, it made me a better wife, it made me a better person. Happy person, and happy people don't kill people.
Legally blonde. Legally blonde.
Happy people don't kill people. It's funny because I remember whenever I had my kids, my husband kept on going to the gym as he would, you know? Nobody ever asked him where the kids were. Every time that I went to the gym, that was the first question. So, where are the babies at? Is daddy babysitting? So I think it's like, no, he's parenting his children. and I think that there is this mental, like no man ever gets asked how his career has changed after he has kids, but every woman gets asked how her career has changed after she had kids. So I'm no feminist, but I do have a little bit of a problem with the double standard and expectations of moms whenever it comes to life in general, training, career, your physique. Nobody tells a dad that, like, although the dad body now has become a little bit more popular, but up until recently, there was never like, oh yeah, he's a dad now, he's just gonna let himself go. But when it comes to moms, it's like, oh, she had a kid, so she's just gonna kind of let herself go kind of stuff. And I'm here to change that.